Something to know about cancer is that it has a heads and tails to it. Call the heads the tumor or the disordered blood cells, the physical aspect of the cancer. And tails is the suffering of the person who has the cancer and the suffering of all the people around that person. If we just treat the physical cancer, we've done exactly half a treatment. So we try to cover the other half by addressing the people who are suffering. That's what a support group is, whether it's for patients or caregivers. We've had cancer support groups going at Sierra Nevada Cancer Center since the center started in 1995. And shortly after the center opened, we started the caregiver support groups. We want to ask people, how is it for you? Tell us until we feel it.
Whatever it was that was bothering me that week, I could tell it to the group, and every week I left the group feeling better. I felt uplifted, I felt supported, I felt connected to beautiful people, and I learned about Cancerland, and I learned how to maneuver through all the different challenges that cancer gives you. Because bottom line, cancer really eats away at who you are.
Well, one of the things I found when I was in the caregivers group, that I was able to express feelings that were bothering me. I could shed a tear. I didn't have to put on a brave face because my husband was suffering.
I'd never been to a support group. I felt no need for any kind of support group. And then I was not listening when I first went in. And when I had an opportunity then to reflect back and absorb what people were saying and how, and the manner in which that they were saying it, and the manner in which people interacted with one another, it became clear to me that, yeah, this is something that I needed to do. These were my people.
In 2006, when I was first diagnosed, a friend of mine suggested that I come to the support group on Wednesdays. She could have told me to jump off a cliff. I was that oblivious to reality. And she mentioned the group on a Tuesday. Wednesday is when the group meets, and I was there. And I have rarely missed ever since.
I just remember I was very down and out. I was at the bottom of a pit. I was scared. I felt very lonely. And I heard about a support group, and I thought, wow, maybe this is my last chance at survival.
Since medicine couldn't help me anymore, what could help me? What could I do to keep on living?
There's a spirituality about the communication that we have in the group that it's utterly astonishing. And if a person is wondering whether or not they need a support group, my thought on that is absolutely, you certainly do.
I was a little hesitant to come to the caregivers group because I was at first kind of anxious. I felt like I wouldn't know anybody, and even though I had a big problem, I wasn't sure if any of the other people had such a problem, and that they'd be able to relate to me and I could relate to them. So finally I mustered up the courage to come to the caregiver support group, and there were a number of people in the room there that were with similar problems, similar situations.
Something that virtually everyone in the group will say is that the group is a place to talk about your deepest fears, your questions, your unease, in a way that you can't necessarily do with family or with friends. It's just that safe place, and you know that what you have to say is being interpreted properly, that everyone understands what it means to have cancer and all the ramifications of that and the effect it has on every facet of your life.
The best thing that happened in the Kids Cope group that could help me cope with things that happened at home was we would make a lot of pictures and drawings that would allow my soul to kind of be expressed. And I really wasn't able to do that at home, but it helped me feel better when I got home.
I find the atmosphere, it's profound because there's a level of trust, there's a level of honesty that is amazing.
I think not having support of that group would have made my life much more lonely, probably much more stressful. I found the group, while we talked about hard things, we also found time to laugh about things, and we could be, cry and laugh at the same time, and that made things better for me.
I want to be able to give to others a sense of hope and inspiration, maybe that they can survive, they can go through these experiences and know that they'll be okay in the end, that they're not alone.
Members of support groups become experts on how to live with cancer. Then they use what they've learned to elevate the quality of their lives. What we do in support groups isn't complicated or mysterious or depressing. We simply converse honestly about what's important.